On the 517th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. In Bakhmut front, Ukrainian forces continued their advance in the area south of the city of Bakhmut. According to the spokesman of the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Zherebets, the Ukrainian army drove the Russian forces out of the village of Andriivka, just a few kilometers south of Klishchiivka. Asked by the media about the use of cluster munition by Ukrainians on this front, Zherebets confirmed the news and said that the Ukrainian forces are now using the entire range of ammunition that they have received from their Western allies. Some Ukrainian sources, referring to Russian Telegram channels, reported that Russian forces left not only their positions in Andriivka, but also the strategic positioned village of Klishchiivka. For the moment, this news is not fully confirmed, but what has been confirmed by other ground sources is that at least half of the village is now under the control of the Ukrainian forces, with Russian troops being in a difficult situation and possibly semi-encircled. In a geolocated video published by Ukrainian source Deep State, it seems that the Russian forces suffered a major defeat during the Ukrainian assault south of Klishchiivka. The images show the Russian forces fighting while being attacked from several sides and constantly getting hit by the Ukrainian artillery. While from images published by Russian sources, it appears that Russian artillery targeted several positions in the center of Klishchiivka, confirming the presence of the Ukrainian troops inside the village. It seems that the Ukrainian forces are now advancing on the entire front line south of Bakhmut, as another advance of the Ukrainian forces was reported north of the Russian positions in Zeleniopilya and Kurdyumivka. On the southern front, in the direction of Staromaiorske, various official Ukrainian sources reported of an advance of their forces in the town of Staromaiorske. Official sources speak of an advance of 500 to 750 meters towards the south. Russian sources confirmed the news about an offensive of the Ukrainian army in the direction of Staromaiorske and Urozhaine, but they did not confirm the success of the Ukrainian soldiers. In the western flank of the front, Russian sources once again reported about another failed counterattack of their forces north of Pryutne. After the consecutive failures of the Russian forces to stop the Ukrainian advance, it is reported that Ukrainians are now very close to Pryutne and fighting is taking place only a few kilometers north of the village. In Svatove front, as I warned in the previous video, the Russian forces have managed to expand their bridgehead in the areas west of Zherebets river. As I said yesterday, the tactical position greatly favored the Russian forces, and today pro-Ukrainian sources reported that the Ukrainian forces chose to abandon their positions in the small villages of Nadia, Serhivka and Novoyehorivka to avoid a possible encirclement. The Ukrainian forces will be repositioned further west along the Pershotravneve-Stepove line of the villages that are located on a more favorable position since they lie at the dominant heights over the Russian positions. Today, Russian sources reported that Ukrainian missile attacks continued over the Crimean Peninsula. According to them, at least 3 Storm Shadow missiles launched by Su-24M fighter jets of the Ukrainian Air Forces hit a collection point of damaged Russian army vehicles in central Crimea, a few kilometers north of Simferopol. Russian sources raised concerns about the continuous attack of the Ukrainian Storm Shadow missiles on their bases and military facilities in Crimea. According to them, the Russian air defense must adapt to this new threat, as until now it has been impossible to stop the Anglo-French-made missiles. On the other hand, Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov declared that the Ukrainian forces will continue to hit the Russian military facilities in Crimea as well as the Crimean Bridge in order to reduce Russia's ability to fight, thereby saving the lives of the Ukrainians. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and have a great day.